Neil Cavuto, who we slammed the other day, really stepped up to the plate here and did a pretty good job because he went after Michele Bachmann over this new silly lawsuit that the Republicans are trying against President Obama over executive orders.
Why now the suit? By the way, we're going to get back in legal, broadsides back and forth. Why not just fix things that are very, very wrong now, rather than dragging someone to court over whether they overstep their bounds? It just seems to me like an enormous waste of effort.
Well, the lawsuit is what you might call a long-term effort if it even gets picked up by a court. A lot of courts might call this a political question. This could drag on for months and we may not get anywhere. We need to, where executive branch officials have broken the law, and they have, the IRS gave private donor information to the political friends of this administration. They gave the private donor information
separate
to the
issue,
political
Congresswoman,
enemies.
Separate issue. You're conflating issues.
No, it isn't.
You're quite
no,
right.
It
Where
isn't.
was
no,
your
it
rage?
Isn't.
Where
because
was
what
your
we need
rage,
to do,
Congresswoman?
Listen.
Where
let me
was
have
your
1
rage,
minute.
Congresswoman?
No,
No, you're conflating issues and you're being silly. Where was your rage when Democrats were going after President Bush on the same use of executive orders? Because I think you knew then that was a waste of time then, and I think you know in your heart of hearts this is a waste of time now. There are far more important things that you guys have to be addressing than filing lawsuits past each other. By the way,
Listen,
Rome's burning.
I'm not the one talking about that. What I'm saying is that what's very important is the president trying to establish lawlessness in the United States. That's a big
Democrats
issue.
said George Bush did the same, Congresswoman. I'm just saying. Side claiming it, waste of time. Waste of time.
So what we need to do is defund the executive branch, number one, and then impeach
think about what you're saying. Defund the executive branch. Congresswoman, if Democrats had said, we're going to just defund President Bush, we're going to defund the executive, you would laugh them out. And so you should have then. And I think Democrats would be in their right mind to laugh you out now. Defund them.
Listen, the House has the power of the purse. This isn't a small power. We can do this, but we can do something further. I hear your frustration.
All right,
what we can do further is impeach the elected officials that have broken the law, and they have.
Rome's burning, and you're filing. All right.
That's
Respectfully
not filing.
disagree.
That's not filing. That's kicking him out of there. What else are we going to do? That is what the Constitution allows.
We'll have more after this.
Well, then what do you do? What do you do?
She is an absolute lunatic. She just said that the House of Representatives should defund the executive branch. Really? You want to eliminate a branch of government because you're not getting your way? That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Who would be the tyrant then? Who would be the fascist dictator then? Wouldn't that make you the fascist dictator? You're ranting on and on about how you think Obama, he's a runaway executive power. He takes too much power upon himself. No, that's what you're doing. You just said you want to shut down the executive branch. That's so extreme, I've never heard it before. And I follow politics for a living. When you make Neil fucking Cavuto, somebody who lives up the ass of Wall Street, he loves the establishment. When you make him go, whoa, seriously? Defund the executive branch? And understand something. The point that he was originally making to her is, wait. You're suing, all the articles say that the lawsuit is over executive orders, okay? But if you actually look at the numbers, we showed this chart yesterday. Show it again. This is the executive orders by president. Obama has the least. So if you're going to be consistent, you would have had to defund the executive branch throughout from the year 1930 and onward. Is that how we should function as a country from 1930 and onward? We eliminate the office of the presidency? If you're being consistent, that's what you would have had to done. And Neil Cavuto, look, I disagree with him on almost everything, but at least he has the minimal level of objectivity to go, well, that doesn't make any sense, man, because you're saying, oh, Obama, runaway executive power, but I'm looking at the numbers, and he hasn't done runaway executive power. You might disagree with his policies, Michele Bachmann, but he hasn't done runaway executive powers. And then also, when you look at the specifics of his executive orders, they are well within the confines of what you're allowed to do with an executive order. So, for example, the ones that they're concerned about, there's a few over immigration. There was one that had to do with gay rights and telling federal contractors that, you need to not discriminate against gays if you're going to be a federal contractor. You're completely allowed to do that. And another one over family leave. You're allowed to do that. Those are not outside of the realm of what you can and cannot do with an executive order. So you're not being consistent. That's his point. And he brings up how George W. Bush, the Democrats said that George W. Bush was abusing his power. Yes, because he was abusing his power. And by the way, Obama is abusing his power too. But they don't even focus on the areas where Obama is actually abusing his power. That's the thing. We talked about this the other day. All the drone strikes in Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia, those are all illegal. Some people say, he has authorization to use military force. Not in every country ever. No, you need to specifically for each one of those countries, you would need to have Congress come up with a declaration of war. And they haven't done that. So what he's doing violates Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution under the enumerated powers where it says that Congress has the ability to declare war. He's not allowed to do that, and he's doing that. Guantanamo Bay is still a violation of the Constitution and due process and habeas corpus and the Fifth Amendment. The NSA spying is a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment. I mean, you could even make arguments that, as president, he is head of the country, we're still doing a lot of executions. That violates the Eighth Amendment protection from cruel and unusual punishment. There are so many areas where he's legitimately abusing his authority. I know that last one is a stretch, but they don't focus on those because they agree with him on those, because usually that involves spying on people, taking away their rights, and killing people. And Republicans like nothing more than doing those things. So instead of focusing on those, they go to the things where he actually is well within his rights and well within his executive powers to do it. And they go, we're going to sue him and defund the executive branch. Again, when you make a Neil Cavuto say, you're being silly, sweet Jesus Christington, you're being silly.